Greetings and welcome to the Portraits and Fitness channel. My name is David. I'm a portrait and headshot photographer based in the East Bay of the San Francisco Bay Area. And today we're not talking about portraits, but we are talking about a certain kind of fitness. And that is the fitness that I'm experiencing both mentally and physically pursuing the carnivore lifestyle. I hope this is of use to you. I'm recording this for personal reasons, but I'm very excited to share my insight, my experiences, my feelings, and I hope it's of some value. So I wanted to begin on a very high note and share with you that I'm wearing my success in a sense, because when I first relocated from the very hot and humid subtropical climate of Taiwan to the San Francisco Bay Area almost 8 years ago, my wife was very sweet and thoughtful and perhaps maybe embarrassed at my mostly t-shirt oriented wardrobe, because I would go through sometimes 3 t-shirts a day, sweating through them in Taiwan. And she gifted me some what I call snazzy shirts. And as I gained weight, particularly after the line of demarcation I lovingly call the malarkey, otherwise known as 2020, and having put on a lot of weight since that time, I no longer fit in these shirts that my wife introduced me to, and they were just sitting in my closet. And like many people, I remained hopeful that one day I'll be able to fit back into them. But somehow in the back of my mind, I didn't think it was so realistic because I just kept gaining weight. Well, yesterday I thought maybe this is a good benchmark. I'll reach into the closet and it's probably not going to be a great outcome, but I'm curious. Maybe I'll just grab one of these snazzy shirts from the closet and try it on and see how far I have to go. Well, I didn't have too far to go because it actually fits on me. And I'm so excited to share that progress and to wear these shirts again. And I'm also going to be trying on some jeans that I haven't fit in a couple years as well. And I'm really looking forward to wearing this shirt in particular to an event coming up in 2 weeks. And who knows, by then I'll probably have made further progress in reducing my girth and my weight. Another thing I'm looking forward to hopefully resolving a little bit is my rosacea, which is a skin condition. It's like a redness on the sides of my nose and cheeks, and also right in the middle, the lower part of my forehead. And I've noticed that there has been improvement, so I'm looking forward to further improvement in that. But if there's a few bumps in the road or on the face along the way, I can accept that, because in my understanding, anything like this is really the body trying to detoxify itself. So I welcome the body detoxifying, and if it's that part of the process means an outbreak here or there, but overall going diminishing and not having future flare-ups, then that's fine. That's something I'll endure. And I think overall, this entire experience to date has really been transformative. I don't love that word, but it's been transformative and liberating. And in particular, it's really freed me up and made me feel like I've rebooted my body physically, but I've also decluttered my mind. And that's specifically in terms of my attachment to food and eating, and also these urges that we're almost trained to just run from one urge or compulsion or craving to the next, especially in our modern Western societies and probably worldwide these days. We just go from one craving to the next, and it's indulged, and gaining weight is just part of the process, and we accept that for some reason. So with this approach, I've discovered that when I'm consuming a meal and I'm enjoying it from bite to bite, it might be enjoyable one bite, and then the next, it loses its taste and its attraction, and I'm done. And, we're taught by the science. The science tells us that it takes 20 minutes for the gut to send signals of satiation to the brain, and I'm not experiencing that. So, go figure. It doesn't conform with the science. My experience is different. So maybe I'm experiencing something different from the rest of humanity on a diet that we're meant to eat, or maybe the scientists should go back and re-examine what they've been telling us all these years, including the food pyramid. And speaking of the food pyramid, just briefly, I wanted to mention that at one point in my life, I was a vegetarian. And essentially, the reasons for or the justification or rationale for me going on that sort of diet or taking that approach to life was I was literally brainwashed into believing, as a avid reader of Runner's World, and at the time, major races would even have like carbo loading pasta parties before marathons. And in my mind, as a 13 or 14-year-old cross country and track runner, I thought that high carbohydrates, simple carbohydrate diet was kind of like high octane fuel. And so I just went into that with that kind of misunderstanding, rather than really having an ethical basis for my decision. However, it did feel good to me believing that I wasn't doing any harm to animals, at least contributing to their suffering and their demise as a vegetarian. Now, my understanding has changed about that, and that monoculture is actually very damaging, and animals are part of the ecosystem, as we are as well. And at some point, I did go back to eating meat, and I experienced immediate results, even though I expected to feel maybe a bit of revulsion or nausea as a result of trying to eat meat. But it was love at first bite, and literally it felt right. After 20 years of being what I term a starchatarian, resuming consuming meat felt good. However, upon examination, what I was really doing was I was just pushing out a lot of the starch and tofu consumption that I was doing. That was sort of replacement for the meat that I wasn't eating in my diet in Taiwan, even though I was working out, training 15 or 20 hours a week on average, and then upwards of 30 hours a week of aerobic exercise. And as soon as I resumed eating meat and pushed that extra starch and tofu out of my diet, I immediately got leaner, and my power to weight ratio increased. And I don't believe I had the right approach, but it was a better approach than being a starchatarian. So I'm not really feeling major cravings at all, and my relationship with meals has really changed. I go into a day not knowing when I'm going to be hungry, or if I'm going to be hungry, or how I'm going to feel hungry. So that's kind of an adventure. I have continued to consume coffee. However, it's not as much of a craving as a habit, and I am enjoying it despite what I said last week, which was that at one point coffee had kind of lost its enjoyment for me, but that was a temporary thing. And I'll continue to monitor my relationship with coffee, and I'll also continue to monitor my relationship with dairy. Right now, I am consuming a little bit of dairy, but not a lot. I wouldn't say it's as high as a lot of people on a carnivore diet, and it certainly isn't as high as it was when I tried keto a few years ago. But one craving that I am experiencing is for sure heightened thirst. I'm definitely thirstier for water than I usually am, and as a result, I'm thinking about investing in a reverse osmosis system so that I have clean water at hand at all times in the house. I am adding some electrolyte drops to my water, and I'm also making a solution with Himalayan sea salt and just adding some salt and electrolytes to my water. And that's the only type of beverage that I'm consuming at this time. As far as my variety of diet goes, I have gotten a little bored with ground beef. I was initially really excited to try all different sorts of ground beef recipes, and I've grown a little bit bored with it. But who can say no to a decent burger patty? And today, in fact, I am mixing a bit of beef liver into some ground beef, so we'll see where that goes, and more to come on that. Another thing, I don't know if I'm hallucinating or not, but I think I'm noticing that my teeth are a little bit whiter. I don't know how to measure that, but if it turns out that I have pearly whites without any additional effort, that's great. But I do hold out some hope for a bit of repair of my gums. I have had some pockets in my gums, and on previous dental visits, the dentist was concerned about that. And I'm looking forward to changing my relationship with the dentist going forward. And rather than them doing kind of maintenance and repairs on my mouth and my teeth and gums, I would just like to consult with them and have maybe biannual cleanings, and hopefully those pockets will be reduced as a result of this approach to lifestyle and eating. My sleep is good. I am looking forward to perhaps not snoring in the future, but I don't know if I've reached that point. I haven't heard any reports to the contrary, so I'm assuming that I'm still snoring. But I'm really looking forward. If I could resolve my snoring with this approach, that'll be one of the biggest things. And at one point, I thought I might have sleep apnea. So if I can get out of the woods and have no danger of sleep apnea at all and sleep better, then that's fantastic. I think that's really about all that I have to report right now. I feel liberated. I feel decluttered. I went into the spring really hoping to do a reboot, and it coincided with the total eclipse of early April. I went into the spring thinking, okay, now's my opportunity to really do a nice reboot, have a new change. And I was thinking about doing maybe a 10 to 15 day water fast. However, after embarking on the carnivore approach, I will be trying different approaches to fasting, such as 1 day on, 1 day off, eating 1 day, not eating 1 day, 2 meals a day, not eating for a full day, and then 72-hour fasts or not eating, or beyond, maybe. Let's see. And then I'm also noticing that it's not as expensive as I anticipated to pursue this type of life, because I'm not really consuming as much as I thought I would, because I'm easily satiated, and I'm actually having some leftovers that I can just put away until the next time. So like a few days ago, I prepared 2 big burger patties with a carnivore bun that I learned from Steak and Butter Gal. Shout out to Bella. And after I didn't even get through the first one before I just felt like that's enough. I'm putting the rest of this burger away. I'm putting the second burger away. And I didn't have the second burger until the next day. I brought it to my studio with me and had it that day. So this whole thing is full of surprises, and hope to report on some more surprises next week. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. Again, I'm recording this for myself, but if you're along for the ride and you have any insight or any comments that you would like to add, I most welcome them and appreciate them. So put your comments down below. Please subscribe and share. And if you are making any videos on a carnivore life yourself, please share with me. I'll be sure to subscribe to you as well. And until the next video, please take care, and I'll see you then.